Tonight, the search is over. 2 brothers have been recovered after falling into rapids near Sturgeon Falls. Also tonight, digging out Dauphin. We're getting a clear picture of damage done to its hospital and what it'll take to clean up the mess. And later, art with a lot of heart.
It's just fun to color.
Where a teen is transforming sidewalks. For nearly a week, Mounties, divers, and volunteers have been combing Nudimick Lake. On Saturday, 2 brothers fell into fast-moving rapids near Sturgeon Falls Trail. Tonight, their parents are getting some closure. Mounties are confirming both boys, 10-year-old Maximo and 13-year-old Aaron O. Ramirez, have been recovered. Good evening and thanks for joining us. We begin with breaking news from Nudimick Lake. Both 13-year-old Aaron and 10-year-old Maximo O. Ramirez have been recovered. Our CMP confirmed Aaron was recovered from the water before 8 p.m. tonight. This after his younger brother Maximo was recovered Wednesday night. Our CMP said a witness saw Maximo slip into the water near Sturgeon Falls Trail on Saturday, and Aaron went in to save him. As of tonight, both boys have been returned to their families. Earlier this afternoon, as volunteers searched for Aaron, their parents shared an emotional message after Maximo was recovered. It was read on their behalf.
We're going through a terrible, horrible, and unimaginable pain for our children. What we've gone through is not humanly possible to understand. We're surviving only because of the help of those around us. We have so much gratitude for the people who are helping. This help is so overwhelming. It's hard to understand how a community can be so strong for us and help us so much. The support for everyone is truly what is sustaining our family.
The province says it's currently reviewing safety measures in the area. It noted there are signs up warning of slippery rocks and a strong current. An eyesore in South Osborne could be getting a major facelift, but not everyone is happy about it. Plans for a 10-story high-rise with affordable housing is in the works for an empty lot near the transit garage. But an appeal has been launched against the proposal at City Hall by a small group of homeowners. CTV's Jeff Keel explains.
There was once a gas station on this site in South Osborne next to the Winnipeg Transit Garage. But the lot, now owned by the city, has sat empty for years.
It needs to be utilized. Like, we are a city and we need to get things built.
There is a plan to make use of it. A 10-story building could rise here. The bottom 2 floors would house Transit's offices. The top 8, 131 residential units, 30% of them very affordable and 15% affordable. Joseph Shaban's ice cream shop is down the street. He says a tower of that size would be a cherry on top for his business.
That will definitely increase our welcome traffic, yes.
But the developer requires a variance as the building is 51 feet taller than the allowable height.
It seems a bit much. It seems like it's going to be pretty big.
A few people living in the area have launched an appeal at City Hall. While they say they're not opposed to a residential development here, it's just too tall. Parking is also a big concern.
It's cramming a whole bunch of people into one small space, and then it crowds the neighbors too.
Dana Switey lives across from the lot. She says parking is already at a premium because of the workers next door, and the development would only make things worse.
You know, people who pay for residential parking passes here sometimes can't find a spot because there is transit here at the end of the street. So transit does take up a lot of our spots.
Plans do include 17 on-site parking spots, plus 50 more in a future parkade on this transit lot behind the site.
We definitely need more parking in South Osborne. I have a lot of people coming from Winnipeg Transit asking me if they can use our parking stalls.
Jeff Keel, CTV News, Winnipeg.
Construction could begin next year. A special appeal hearing is set for July 29th. A teacher in the Mountain View School Division has been stripped of his teaching license after a review commission found he solicited sexual images from a person he thought was an underage girl. According to a report by the Commissioner of Teacher Professional Conduct, the situation began a year ago today when the teacher, Joshua Braxma, connected with a social media account which he believed belonged to a 15-year-old girl. In reality, he was communicating with an undercover detective in the United States who says the conversation turned sexual and the teacher asked for a photo of the girl's breasts. That led to an RCMP investigation here in Canada. Some of the teacher's colleagues were able to identify him through photos associated with the social media account. The commissioner found no other penalty would be sufficient given the circumstances and ordered his teaching certificate revoked. Braxma did not participate in a public hearing and did not send written statements. A spokesperson for the division confirmed he was employed since September of 2015 but no longer works there. We're getting an inside look at the waterlogged Dauphin Regional Health Center after flooding closed the facility at the beginning of the month. These photos were shared by Shared Health. They show floors slick with mud and debris throughout the facility. Medical items, boxes of medical equipment, computers and office supplies appear to be completely ruined and littering the floor. In another photo seen here, workers are wearing protective gear, scrubbing floors and carrying heaps of trash outside. Prairie Mountain Health previously said considerable damage was done to critical infrastructure, including medical gas equipment, the pharmacy, and HVAC systems. 54 patients were relocated to Brandon and other health centers. Some good news today for people living in the town of St. Anne. Their hospital is now welcoming patients back again. Officials were forced to close the healthcare facility last week after the air conditioning system went down. The lab and x-ray departments reopened today, and the hospital is also open for inpatients. During the shutdown, 20 patients were evacuated to other healthcare facilities. Southern Health says the 17 patients who still require care are now back at St. Anne Hospital. A step in the right direction. That's what the Manitoba government is calling a policy change made by Empire Company. The parent company of Sobeys will no longer use or enforce property controls that can limit opening competing businesses from opening a store near some of its past or present locations. The NDP government passed a law last year that prohibited exclusivity clauses in land sales. In April, it announced it was going to bring the issue at 4 locations to the municipal board. Manitoba's public service delivery minister says that challenge will continue if Sobeys doesn't drop all of its property controls in the province. And here's our first look at tonight's weather. It is pretty warm right now, 23 degrees, but it does actually feel more like 28 with the humidity, with wind gusts of up to 32 kilometers an hour from the south-southwest. Pressure is rising. Humidity is at 72%. Temperatures will get a little cooler tonight, with 20 degrees being the expected low. Now, we'll see a mostly clear sky of clouds. Smoke is also expected throughout the evening. Tomorrow morning, 21 degrees starts us off with strong wind gusts of up to 50 kilometers an hour. There's also a chance we could be getting thunderstorms starting in the morning.
I raised it directly with the Prime Minister.
Wab Kinew is calling out telecom giants after Wednesday's massive 911 outage. The Premier's hang up next. Premier Wab Kinew is calling yesterday's 911 service outage unacceptable, and he says he raised the issue with the Prime Minister today.
So yeah, I raised it directly with the Prime Minister. He committed to calling the CEOs of the telecoms and addressing the issue, and so we'll continue working with the federal government, both at that level, the ministerial level, and then working with the big phone companies directly. God knows they're certainly charging us enough money on our phone bills.
911 services were temporarily unavailable for callers outside of Winnipeg for several hours Wednesday after Bell says a third-party cut through a fiber cable. People were told to call their local emergency services directly until the service was restored late in the afternoon. Kinew was speaking from the sidelines of the Premier's meeting in PEI, which wrapped up today. The latest tariff threats from the United States continued to dominate the talks, with the Prime Minister saying everything is on the table normal when considering retaliation. The head of the Manitoba Chambers of Commerce says about 5% of Manitoba's exports could be affected by the latest tariff action from the United States.
5% doesn't, you might not think of it as a lot, but when you're taking it into that context, you're probably talking about $900 million.
Chuck Davidson says his message to businesses right now is that our biggest trading partner is our most unreliable partner. He's encouraging business owners to do what they can to adjust their supply chains or look at other markets either across Canada or around the world.
Just as much as we rely on the U.S. market, they also rely on us. And so we've also heard from our partners and chambers and businesses on the other side of the border who also want this to come to a conclusion because they also see the importance of the relationship and the close relationship and long-standing relationship that we've had between our two countries.
Davidson says he's hopeful that the U.S. will either end up extending the deadline or dropping its latest tariff threat before it's implemented. A man is recovering after being assaulted, duct taped, and robbed of his truck. The whole ordeal happened around 9 p.m. Monday night at a home in Carman. Mounties say the 59-year-old man was approached by a woman living on his property, demanding his truck keys. When he said no, the man was assaulted and tied up using cords and duct tape. His truck, wallet, and some tools were stolen. He later received treatment at hospital. A warrant is out for the arrest of 37-year-old Miranda Juras of Carman. She's described as 5 foot 2 inches tall with a medium build, brown hair, and green eyes. If you might know where she is, RCMP are asking you to call them or Crime Stoppers using the number on your screen. Manitoba's Auditor General says the province needs to update how it prepares financial information after noticing an increasing number of errors over the years. The AG outlined a number of issues, including poor record keeping, inadequate communication and training, and a lack of formal review. They made more than a dozen recommendations related to planning, oversight, record keeping, and staff training. Provincial officials accepted all the recommendations and noted work was already underway on implementing several of them. A symbol of reconciliation, collaboration, and shared commitment. Winnipeg's taxi industry and Indigenous leaders are breaking bread to highlight the progress being made to improve safety.
We've met with a lot of success.
The Indigenous Taxi Safety Committee has worked alongside the industry over the past 5 years to rebuild trust with Indigenous community members. They are now sharing the steps that have been taken to identify concerns, develop solutions, and strengthen relationships, as well as the work still to come. Highlights include Indigenous cultural awareness training, enhanced training for all vehicles for hire, drivers mandatory licensing beginning at 2027, and a public taxi safety video campaign.
Starting from the first time we sat down to the point we're at today, it's been like day and night because we've had to create a relationship.
Work will now move toward additional public education initiatives with the release of safety videos, increasing awareness of passenger protections, and training more Indigenous people, especially women, to work as drivers. You can experience all that rural Manitoba has to offer this week with the return of the Manitoba Thresherman's Reunion and Stampede. The festival in Austin kicked off today and runs until Sunday. You'll find vintage farm equipment, live music, heavy horse shows, machinery demonstrations, an outdoor trade show, children's activities, and much more. Tickets are available at the gate. A cottage in southern Manitoba has been a home away from home for families wanting to stay close to their children receiving care in hospital. And now it's marking 10 years of serving in the community with a special celebration this weekend.
So when people come to Katie's Cottage, anyone can come. Anyone who has a loved one at Boundary Trails can stay with us. Doesn't matter what age you are.
Katie's Cottage is located near the Boundary Trails Hospital in Winkler. The cottage and the Katie Cares Foundation were created by 13-year-old Caitlin Reimer, who died from cancer in 2012. A decade later, Katie's Cottage is still continuing to honor her vision by providing a place of comfort and care. And this Saturday, it will continue paying tribute to her legacy by celebrating with some of her favorite things.
We're We're celebrating it, I think, exactly how she would want. We have bouncy castles, face painting, sidewalk chalk, bubbles, hot dogs, watermelon chips, cupcakes.
The family-friendly event is free of charge, and the fun kicks off at Katie's Cottage on Saturday from 11 a.m. until 4 p.m. You don't have to break the bank to spruce up your home with some new artwork this summer. The under $100 art show is exactly what it sounds like. Quality art for you to take home and enjoy, all for under $100. During the 3-day-long show and sale, you'll find everything from paintings and prints to photography, ceramics, and tiles from more than 80 artists. The organizers say the event is a boost for both the artists and buyers.
The idea is that what artists will lose in discounting the large pieces that they bring to the show, they'll make up for in volume of smaller pieces, regular priced items, prints, that type of thing. So artists tend to do very well at the show just from the mass amounts of arts that they're selling.
That event runs August 13th to 16th across 20,000 square feet on the second floor of Portage Place Mall. For more info and tickets, just head to under100artshow.com. Opening up flood claims. What rules are being changed to help flood-affected farmers? Plus, hot and sunny. We'll show you why you might want to stock up on cargo shorts. Still to come in your complete Skywatch forecast. Tonight's Skywatch pick of the day is a beautiful shot from Lake Winnipeg. Thanks to Jared for sending this one in and making me very jealous. You can send your weather photos to Winnipeg Weather at ctv.ca. So folks, if I were you, I would try to enjoy the dry weather when you can, as tomorrow we will be seeing some thunderstorms, not just here in Winnipeg, but across Manitoba as well. As you can see, that's already starting in northern Manitoba. That could even be severe at times, particularly in the early hours of tomorrow morning. At the same time, we're going to see in southern Manitoba a system of showers start to push through the area. Now, folks in Brandon, things will be fairly dry for you in the afternoon, but that's likely when we'll start to feel that rain here in Winnipeg. And I know we're watching that streak of red in Ontario. It is expected to drop a little further south for folks in places like Kenora and Dryden overnight Friday into very early Saturday morning. This as things clear up here in Winnipeg, and there is a risk though on the weekend for folks in places like the Pas and Flin Flon to potentially see some rain, even potentially also a thunderstorm in the afternoon, just depending on how strong it's going to be when it gets there on the weekend. And as mentioned, that chance of a thunderstorm tonight and tomorrow in northern Manitoba. However, Churchill, you folks are staying dry tonight and tomorrow with a high of 12 degrees expected. And as I said earlier, Flin Flon showers tonight. Tomorrow, though, not as likely, but your neighbors, including in Lynn Lake, Norway House, and the Pas, all expecting a thunderstorm tomorrow. And for folks in the Westman region, including Brandon, that rain is expected to start in the very early hours of the morning, but should clear in the afternoon with a high of 30 degrees. Here in Winnipeg, a mostly clear sky. However, some smoke in the air still. Tomorrow, 30 degrees is our expected high. And as we saw a moment ago, a chance of showers, potentially even a thunderstorm. Kenora, 28 degrees is your expected high tomorrow. And you folks could be seeing a severe thunderstorm tomorrow, but also more rain on the weekend. And we'll take a look at our 7-day forecast in a moment. The government is making some adjustments to the agri-stability program to help flood-affected farmers. The federal and provincial governments are waiving 2025 late filing penalties for those in municipalities and First Nation communities that declared a state of emergency due to flooding. Even if you're outside of those areas and you miss the June 30th filing deadline, you may still appeal for a waiver. The interim payment is also being bumped up from 50% to 75%, meaning larger payments sooner. If you've already received an interim payment, you'll automatically receive a top-up. And still taking a look at that 7-day forecast, as mentioned, that chance of showers tomorrow, potentially even a thunderstorm. A lot of heat, though, for us. Temperatures reaching a high of 31 degrees on Sunday. It doesn't really cool off throughout the week. And still to come, music in the mountains. A popular skiing spot is being turned into a massive stage where organizers are promising an intimate experience. When you think of Smoky and Martog Mountains, the winter slopes probably come to mind. But as CTV's Brian Foley shows us, in the summer, the hills are alive with the sound of music.
Last July, I drank a bottle of Wolf Black.
For the past 4 summers, Cape Smoky has been home to the sounds of Nova Scotian artists.
You're on the hill and you're on the nature. You have the beautiful view of the Atlantic Ocean with all the islands and all the majesticness of Ingonish. And what else can be better than having, 72-hour cooked pulled pork and briskets on a side of a hill, listening to fantastic musicians which are jamming together.
This year, Ski Martog joins in the music. The hills will host popular artists Joel Plaskett, Lenny Gallant, the Town Heroes, Tara Spencer, Gordy Sampson, and Nick Van Eed. Asif Ilyas is the mastermind behind the sessions.
It's cool that they're trying to do stuff all through the year, but also that they're open to, thinking big and trying to get some, really cool artists.
To be able to show that Ingonish is fun and bridge the gap between the two communities.
In addition to the scenics, local and international talent is the draw.
You can get lost for those 3 or 4 minutes in a song, and everyone knows that and how powerful music is, and to see it coming from a stage, from the source, from the songwriter, is a very big thing.
And an even bigger thing to connect the audience to the artist on a personal level.
And be able to see and feel the fact that the musicians are also human beings and be able to have a good time with them.
And music is so widespread and easy to find that actually getting to the sources of why artists and songwriters create songs,
making it a unique experience in a breathtaking setting.
This is almost like if you came to the artist's backyard, had a barbecue with them.
This season's series kicks off at Martog July 30th and heads to Cape Smoky August 2nd. Brian Foley, CTV News, Halifax.
You don't often hear this at most summer camps. Invest! This Quebec camp blends the usual fun and games with academics and financial literacy. Its founder, Jay, held the first camp in 2010. Since then, more than 9,000 kids have signed up in the Montreal area. Some of the former campers are now working at the camp. Jay helps his workers open brokerage accounts with their paychecks. This art gallery won't last long. We'll show you who's behind the chalk art popping up on Charleswood sidewalks, and we'll break down tomorrow's forecast next.
Women's clothing provided by RW & Company. Salon services provided by S&T Spa Salon.
Tomorrow in Winnipeg, as we mentioned, expect showers. There could even potentially be a thunderstorm throughout the day. A little more likely in the afternoon, though. Temperatures will rise to a high of 30 degrees, and it will be windy with wind gusts from the southwest as strong as 50 kilometers an hour. A Winnipeg teenager is turning the sidewalks of Charleswood into her own personal canvas.
I've really enjoyed just expressing myself through the art, and it's just fun to color and use the colors to express my feelings.
15-year-old Hope Gross has been creating intricate artwork using her preferred medium of chalk. Her colorful drawings include mystical creatures like dragons, and she hopes her creations bring joy to her community.
I want people to see it and enjoy it, and I want people to see it and smile, and if people smile, then my work's done. So
says she comes up with her own ideas for the drawings, but she is planning on taking a suggestion from a young fan to draw a polar bear with blue eyes wearing a pink dress. Very cute. And that's it for us tonight. Thank you for watching, and good night.